equality, care for the poor and for the marginalized and for strangers, and compassion even for enemies, who insists on peace and on the abandonment of materialism, and who constantly speaks of the blistering risks of wealth and prestige. He turns the world upside down. He challenges the comfortable and the complacent, sides with the outcast and the prisoner, and has no regard for earthly power and worldly ambition, love and hope. Christianity isn't safe, and was never supposed to be. Christianity is dangerous. Yet, truth be told, we have often transformed a faith that should revel in saying yes into a religion that cries no. Its founder died so that we would change the world, but many of his followers fight to defend the establishment. They try to link Jesus to nationalism and military force, and they dismiss those who campaign for social change as being radical and even godless. Of course, this is only a culture within Christianity, and not Christianity itself. But ask most people what they think of when they consider the public face of the Christian faith, and they speak of American conservative politicians, anti-abortion activists, or campaigners against sex education or equal marriage. Worse than this, many Christians themselves, especially in North America, have retreated into a bunker mentality, seeing persecution around every corner, and retreating into literalism and small-mindedness. They have built an alternative culture, not one that's anchored in the simplicity and altruism of the early church, but that's hinged on nationalism and insularity. This is all nostalgia rather than the Jesus movement. And as much as change can be frightening to all of us, the Son of God told us that fear and anxiety are unfounded. If we worry about the evolving world, we're just not listening to the words of Christ that we claim to revere. It's as though the cosmetics of the Gospels, the veneer of the message, have become more important than its core and its central meaning. Jesus spoke less about the end times than the time to end injustice, less about whom we should love than about how we should love everyone. If we miss that, we're missing the whole thing. The great C.S. Lewis, one of the finest communicators of the faith in modern times, once wrote that Christianity, if false, is of no importance, and if true, of infinite importance. The only thing it cannot be is moderately important. Let Christians not be moderate in their vocation as radicals of invincible, and yes, revolutionary love. I know of what I speak, because this is in many ways a book that has grown from personal experience. Until 2013, I was regarded as a champion of Orthodox Roman Catholicism, and as such an opponent of reproductive rights for women, equal marriage, and many other issues around which I now have an extremely different and certainly more qualified opinion. In Canada, I hosted a nightly television show for 16 years, had a radio show for even longer, and was published in numerous major secular newspapers, as well as several Catholic ones. My book, Why Catholics Are Right, sold almost 50,000 copies, and was on various bestseller lists for 11 weeks. I spoke to large crowds all over North America and in the UK. I certainly wasn't on the hard right. I supported civil unions and legal protection for LGBTQ2 people. I opposed the Iraq War and the death penalty. I supported the welfare state and the forgiving of third world debt. But it was these areas of liberalism, these informed subtleties, that made my overall Christian conservatism so persuasive. The fanatics could rant and be ignored. A relatively intelligent and seemingly reasonable commentator far less so. Because of that, and to my shame, I caused much more harm. That's a little surprising, in that I come from a British, secular, half-Jewish family. It was while I was working on a biography of G.K. Chesterton, a flawed but brilliant British Catholic author and journalist who died in 1936, that I became interested in Roman Catholicism, particularly of the more traditional kind, and in 1984 was baptized and confirmed. I found a home among conservatives, and